Hello again, you beautiful creatures. You join us again. I am Lucifer. This is Gareth for our mini-series of our top 5s of 2022. Yes, so we just did our top 5 bands of 2022, and now we're moving on to our top 5 conventions of 2022. I feel like this has been obvious for a while. However,
we've only been to 5 conventions.
Yes, but our opinions have been very, very strong.
Yes.
Very strong. So yes, we'll see what they are. We ready? Without further ado.
I bet this one's easy.
Yeah. Number 5 is
London Film and Comic Con.
Hell yeah! We got a match. Woo! Well, where do I begin? I like having things to do at a convention. Everything you want to do there, you have to pay for.
Yeah.
Even the talks. What is that all about? Why is that a thing? Back in my day, back in my day, you could go into the talks for free.
Also, when we went last year, the talks were in the middle of the hall, and you could just watch from the top. They moved them completely different, out of the way now.
Yeah.
Underneath the walkway, so you can't see in.
Yeah.
So they made it more exclusive.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of conventions are choosing you have to be premium to enjoy them fully, and I'm not a fan of that. Like, it's gotten to a point now with these conventions. Did we meet David Tennant at a London Film and Comic Con?
Yes, we did.
We did. It's gotten to a point now where, you know, a lot of shady stuff's going on, and we're really not enjoying it. So the reason why we actually went to see David Tennant, Jamie Campbell-Bower,
Paddy Considine
is because the last convention I was meant to meet Alice Cooper. Now I paid, I'm not going to tell you how much.
It was a sizable amount.
It was a sizable amount for a diamond pass. He cancelled because
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, Alice Cooper cancelled. Shock horror because it clashed with his tour. Which makes me think, they didn't really think this through, did they? They then confirmed that he was going to come back. So it's like, sit tight, we'll give you a new date.
Silence.
Months pass. Months. And then it was just like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I had to fight with multiple emails to get a form of currency back. I say a form of currency because I couldn't even get like a full refund in normal money. I had to get it in vouchers that I could only use at their event. And that is not okay. But
compare that to other conventions like Wales Comic Con, Telford. If they have a guest cancel, it's a refund.
Yeah,
normally it takes a while.
Yeah.
Because there's probably a lot to process.
But they get there.
And Monopoly events as well.
Yeah.
They process refunds immediately. It's dodgy if you see a company more willing to sit on your money.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot for us to go back, I think. A lot. Yeah.
We only went because it was practically free. Yeah,
and also, I'm not getting on the bandwagon at all, but the Joseph Quinn situation, I don't know how true or false the facts are. However, the fact that they came from somewhere, something must have happened. He was oversold, it was overwhelming. Just treat your guests with civility. Treat them as people, not as animals.
And some of the staff as well, the way we were spoken to by some of the staff.
Honestly.
The shining light from their point of view, the shining light is Andrew. Honestly, he's one of the people that work there. He was with David Tennant when we went to see David, and honestly, he was so organised, he was so on it, he had the sense of humour, and he's even said it, he's there for the customers. That's what he's there for, and he's there to make our life easier.
Andrew, I know I will forever sing your praises, and if we go again, we will literally be trying to find you. But thank you for making our experience a little bit less painful. However, company is just not okay.
No.
It's really not okay. If you are thinking about going to a London Comic Con, consider the reviews, consider other people's experiences before you go. And if you buy a guest and they cancel, fight for your money back. Sometimes you even have to go to legal measures, and that is not okay. But honestly, fight for your money back.
If you do go, still have a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
Go in with a game plan, because they are busy.
Yeah.
They are busy places.
Yeah. We can only say that the guests were great.
Yeah.
The guests are wonderful. The guests made it, and so did Andy. But it shouldn't have to come down to them. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to number 4.
Wales Comic Con.
Hey, another one. Okay. Wales Comic Con. Sure. What we thinking?
So we've been to Wales quite a few times. And we've
yeah.
vlogged 2 of them now.
Yeah.
We've vlogged 2 of them. And again, it's very similar to London. Very good guests. The venue, I think, is much bigger than London.
I remember back in the good old days when it was at Wrexham.
Yeah, and they had all the queuing in the rain just to get from one hall to another. But that's why they moved to a convention centre.
Please don't take a step back.
Oh, they're going back. They're going back to Wrexham, but for a smaller convention in August, I believe.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? They're going to say it's for a smaller convention, get big guests, and then oversell. That's what's going to happen. Like, don't take steps back. It must be for a financial situation, but please, like...
Oh, they're still doing Telford.
Yeah. As a punter, it makes our lives a lot more easier at Telford. It really, really does.
It's only an hour away.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot more easier for disabled access as well. Like, I'm a massive advocate for everybody should be able to enjoy themselves. Telford has got such wider space, you know, it's more accommodating for people with disabilities. Going back to Wrexham, I'm sorry, but that is not okay. Like, for mental health purposes as well, it is so cramped and tiny in Wrexham. Like, I had so many freaking panic attacks my first couple of times going to Wrexham. I've actually been to Wales Comic Con a lot more than you have, but it was one of the closest ones for me and my family to go to. I actually met in the Flesh cast, if you remember that. Woo! Blast from the past. But it was... And the photo situation as well. Yeah. So I had a photo op with Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I was stood in the queue for about 45 minutes to an hour because they just kept letting VIP and Diamond pass through. They weren't merging all the queues together. Sort it out.
I was stuck in the queue for Brad Dourif.
The guy needed toilet breaks. It's understandable. Yeah. He's not as young as he used to be.
My thing about Wales is sometimes is the organisation.
Yeah.
You can tell they oversell.
Yeah.
The queue for Bruce Campbell. We made the most of a mess up on Wales's part. So we turned up, went straight to Bruce, and they said, yeah, he's going to come and sign in a moment. Go in. And then they said, oh no, he's going for his photo ops. So they gave us virtual queue tickets. And all we did was we came back, showed our virtual queue tickets and went in and waited. They shouldn't have done that, apparently. And then so we were very lucky, we were very early to meet Bruce at this table. We were just walking around and the queue was out of his little rat run and then all the way down almost as far as where Sean Pertwee was.
It was 3 hours long, I think.
Yeah, and he didn't see everybody because then he had to go do a talk.
And this was people who had pre-booked, he didn't see. And that is wrong. If you pre-book, it should guarantee that you're going to see the guest.
Yeah, that's what... I mean, perfect example for the love of horror. We met Corey Taylor and David Arquette. And they said, because they were the very big guests, you book a time slot. So you bought your autograph and then they'd send you, well, a week before the event, time slots. And the same for your photos. Hello. And I think it made the day a lot easier.
Yeah, it did.
Everyone was more staggered out.
Yeah. I'm not saying that Monopoly events are perfect. However, they're pretty damn close. We had a good time, again, with the guests at Wales Comic Con. Dana De Lorenzo, Bruce Campbell, Brad Dourif.
Fiona Dourif.
Fiona Dourif for you because I was in the queue for Brad Dourif. Jessica Darrow. I can't say thank you to the guests enough. However, it shouldn't be their responsibility to make up for the mess of the convention. Yeah. Yes, I'm happy that Wales have decided to go to a bigger venue, that's why we go, because the venue's lovely. However, it's just a little bit more organisation.
Like we booked early bird, and we didn't get in on time. We got in half an hour, 45 minutes late.
It may as well have just been general entry.
Yeah, because they didn't communicate any issues to us. We were just kept in the dark.
Yeah.
And they do this every single time.
General entry will let in much later.
Yeah.
Much later. Like,
general entry is normally from 11 o'clock. I think they started going in at 12.
And this is the thing. I can hear people being like, well, if you hate these conventions so much, then why'd you go? It's for the guest experience. And the hope that they might listen to the customers and be like, okay, maybe we should do this a little bit differently. By the by, that's our number 2.
That was number 4.
Okay, coming in at number 3. This is going to be interesting. Da 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 da.
For the love of sci-fi.
Yes! Chin chin! We did it again!
I think we're going to get a perfect 5 out of 5.
I think we are. We're moving on to Monopoly events now, guys, and honestly, cracking.
Their organisation has been amazing. I did For the Love of Wrestling just on a whim, and I could say the organisation was great. The only reason why I didn't put it on my top 5 is because the guests were a bit... I don't know what it is about wrestlers.
Concussions.
Some of them are miserable.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
You have your dark days, and you're a wrestler.
Yeah, but if
why are wrestlers so grumpy? Asking the questions.
I don't know. I don't get paid millions of dollars.
Probably the arthritis. I don't know.
But For the Love of Sci-Fi was really good. It was our first sci-fi convention.
Next to none. One of the things that I really enjoyed was the things that you... When I go to a convention, I want to make a full day of it. And unfortunately, what a lot of conventions have seemed to lose is the extra things that people can do. I'm talking about photo ops with set pieces and scenery. And they got a cinema.
Yeah.
You can go and sit in a cinema and you can watch a couple of films that the actors have been in who are the guests for the day. That's a great idea. That's phenomenal. As somebody who... I can't walk around as much as I used to. One, because my ankle is shot to pieces. It's like a gelatinous cube with bone in. That's what it's like. Sorry for that image, but anyway. Like, I can't walk around as much as I used to. Also, this doesn't work quite as well as it used to. Like, my anxiety, my stress levels, they skyrocket, and sometimes...
And also, we go for the whole day. We go from the start of the day to the end of the day, and it's nice
tiring.
To sit down.
Yeah. It really is nice to sit down. We had a phenomenal time sitting and just watching a bit of... Did we go in the cinema for...
Not this time.
No, but it was a shorter day for us. But we felt like we had something to do at every point of the day, and it was so enjoyable. Like, we had the photo ops as well. That was great with the set pieces, and then the photo ops. I got Dacre Montgomery. And then we had the guests to go and see for autographs. I had Mads Mikkelsen as well. He was beautiful. And then you had the talks.
The talks.
Free.
Free. They're in the centre of the hall.
Everyone can see.
Everyone can see. They've got screens in other rooms. So you can still be part of it and still watch it. That is an amazing idea.
Entertainment as well.
Yeah.
You know, we had that surprise.
The flash mob, the surprise singing from Back to the Future.
It was wonderful. Wonderful. But I feel like, let's see. Right, are we ready for number 2?
Oh, number 2.
Yeah, because I've got a feeling about this. Okay, are we ready? Number 2 is ba ba la ba ba ba.
HorrorCon UK.
Yes! I knew it. So this isn't done by Monopoly Events. Which company is it done by?
They're their own thing.
They're their own thing. HorrorCon, what can I say? They've got a little piece of my heart. A lot smaller than the Monopoly events.
A lot smaller.
But with just as much love and as much heart. Like,
it's run by fans.
Yeah, and you can tell. The volunteers, wonderful. Kerry, Mike, you guys stole the show. It was the first time we met them. It felt like we've been friends for years. It's because of people like you that make conventions like this.
Like Andrew at London.
Yeah. The guests, very well picked, very well considered. You had them from all walks of life.
And there's only 8 of them.
Yeah.
There was only 8.
And yet somehow everybody got to see who they wanted to see.
The perfect example is that we went to Craig Sheffer first because there was no one in his line.
Yes.
So we saw Craig Sheffer, then we jumped in the queue for Nicholas Vince, who was understandably more busy, I think because he was a late addition.
Yeah.
And he's the chatterer from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
And then we look over to the far side and their headline guest, Malcolm McDowell, hardly had a queue. We thought it was just closed, but we walked up to the person who was minding the entrance, who's dressed like Clown from Slipknot. We said, "Is he still here?" He said, "Yeah, go down." So we just went straight down.
Amazing.
One thing they also do at HorrorCon is that at the beginning of each queue, it says who you're meeting, how much the autograph is, if they do selfies and how much they are, when they're going for their lunch, when they're going for their talks.
It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just a piece of paper at the start of the queue saying all of this information.
Do you know what was interesting?
What?
For the headline guests at Sci-Fi, they actually moved it to the end of the queue, if you noticed, for Mads Mikkelsen and Dacre.
Oh, yeah?
And that's after we did our For Love of Horror vlog. We're changing the world.
One convention at a time, we're changing the world.
And not to mention, we met Tina and Baz for the first time.
Oh yeah, Tina and Baz. Your future husband.
Baz.
My future wife. Yeah, you guys, honestly, you really, really helped to make that day special. It was wonderful. We simp about you guys a lot in these videos. I'm so sorry about that.
But no, HorrorCon, really good. We can't wait to go back next year for
And the shops. Please, can we talk about the shops, the vendors?
Oh, they were brilliant.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that HorrorCon had managed to find vendors that suited the event. My God, it's almost like it's easy.
Not too many pops.
If you put a little bit of time into it. I don't know why I'm gyrating. The only thing I'll say about Monopoly events, too many pops.
But they're changing
They're changing it, so I can't be too mad. All right. London Film and Comic Con, Wales Comic Con. If I have to see one more body pillow that hasn't got Lady Dimitrescu on, I'm out. If anybody knows where I can buy one of those, please just let me know, because she's beautiful. Right, number 1.
This is obvious.
Ba 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 ba.
For the Love of Horror.
Well, what can I say? For the Love of Horror, Monopoly events, you have stolen our hearts. Like, we have never been to a convention that has been next to HorrorCon, that has been so well put together on such a grand scale.
And for Love of Sci-Fi, I'd probably say.
And for the Love of Sci-Fi, but I think because we're more of a horror channel, horror couple, that's where our heart lies. Like, for the Love of Sci-Fi, don't get me wrong, it was a great, great day. The only issue we had, the same woman who works there is really, really annoying and really, really rude.
We found there's a handful of staff who were rude, who would be dismissive of the punters.
But that's not the organisers' fault.
No.
Like, they wouldn't know from the offbeat or the interviews or whatever they do that these people are going to be rude. That's absolutely fine. I don't blame the organisers at all.
No.
If anything, I commend you guys for what you've done and what you've managed to make. It's a convention for the fans, by the fans again.
Andy Cleek, who's in charge of Monopoly events, it's not just for Love of Horror, it's not just for Love of Sci-Fi, it's Liverpool, it's Manchester, Yorkshire, 2 in Scotland, Northern Ireland.
Soon to be the Midlands as well.
Possibly the Midlands as well. That's
my hometown.
Wales, North East, all of these conventions that he looks after and books the guests for.
And yet he somehow manages to get it right.
And you see him walking around, earpiece in, getting things done. What was it? Someone didn't have enough sticky notes. It was on Mads Mikkelsen's table.
He was there.
And he was there, straight on the radio, we need more sticky notes.
Such a small task, and he was there.
Yeah.
Also, Ben
Fenlon.
The interviewer.
He, again, phenomenal.
And so Val for the Love of Sci-Fi. We can't forget her. You've managed to find... Tony Earnshaw. You've managed to find 3 people who understand the guests, understand the criteria, and absolutely slap.
And are fans. Because since watching Ben, Ben, if you watch this, you've been a big inspiration for Lou.
We love you.
Lou, this is one of your bucket lists. Do you want to mediate a panel? Eventually.
The end goal for this channel, if I may, I would love it if I could have a show. Some kind of talk show. Maybe something like Graham Norton on a smaller scale, but for horror. That's my end goal, to be that person. Whether that can come true or not, I don't know. It's up to you guys. But that's my dream.
And I'd probably say, Ben, you've been a bit of inspiration for this.
Yeah.
Seeing how excited you were during the David Arquette talk, the Terrifier talk.
That was phenomenal.
And running around like a crazy person during Corey Taylor's. Roger Jackson's talk as well. That was insane.
I've never felt so happy going to a convention in all my life, apart from HorrorCon. That was cute. That was just cute. But yeah, I can't rave about Monopoly events enough. And if it's brown nosing, fine. I'll admit it, we're brown nosing. But it's just because we were treated that well. Like, for example, the morning we got there. So the original time to get in was 9?
Yeah, for Love of Horror, they pretty much opened on about half an hour early.
Yeah. Same again for the Love of Sci-Fi.
For Love of Sci-Fi, the doors were open straight away. Yeah. And we just walked in.
They understood that people, it was raining, they understood that people were getting wet, they were getting cold, and was like, we're ready, let's go. You could hear them communicating, you could hear that they were ready, you could hear that, like, you know, they had everything ready. They let people in. It's not hard. It's not hard to communicate, to have a good team, to have good team morale, and to make it a great day for your guests.
Compared to Wales, Monopoly heads and shoulders above the rest.
They've literally set our standards so high for conventions now. Like, it is ridiculous. Every time we go to Wales Comic Con or London Film and Comic Con, we're always comparing. Yeah. Always comparing.
And I think all the lists, all the conventions that we've got listed for next year, they're all Monopoly events.
For sure.
So far, they're all Monopoly.
Because we know we're going to be looked after and we know we're going to have a good day. I can not express how much, if you're going to try and do a convention for your first time, please make it a Monopoly events one. Yeah. Because they get it right. Like
Andy Cleek, phenomenal job. Keep it up.
Poetry clap, poetry clap. Yeah, thank you. We really enjoyed it. We had such a wonderful time. We met some fantastic guests. They got guests from all walks of life. Like, I met so many of my favourite horror icons. Yeah. They were just, yes, they got it right. And they listened to the fans of who they want next.
Yeah, there was literally the week after the show, after the event.
Yeah.
They'd had a live show on their Facebook page, and they were getting the people who were watching throw out the ideas, and they were taking notes. Neil Hibbert.
You feel listened to.
He was taking notes, and he was acknowledging if people weren't thinking that their choice had been heard, he'd confirm, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Stuff like that. And you could see him, he was just writing stuff down.
Thank you for listening to us. Like, we really appreciate it. And we really hope that you guys watch this video because, like, you know, I didn't write a review on the Facebook page because I wanted this to be our review. Yeah. Like, you guys were incredible, and we can't wait to do it again next year. We really can't.
We've already booked our weekend tickets.
So yes, that was our top 5 conventions of 2022. So next we are going to do
guests.
So yes, we will see you in that video. If not, have a great new year, and we will see you next year. Have a wonderful day, folks. Bye.